Canadian reflections. A tree, one of Canada's best, is harvested. Then, delicately and precisely, a master craftsman, Otto Erdesz, fashions a viola, one of the world's best.
In Hungary, in my native country, I made just about 900 violins, mainly violins, very, very few violas. I discovered the great shortage and a great opportunity for business in New York later on, 1956, when I moved in New York after the Hungarian uprising. And since that time, Oh, I made just about 1,100 violas, most of them in New York. I discovered the viola making is a very promising business, but besides that, there was not too many fine violas available. So I felt there's a great opening for business, and I just made my first one and kept on going for 17 years in New York. And during that time, I think I came to just about 1,000 violas. And after that, I went in Israel, built not too many there because there was some problem. Wood was very scarcely available, so I slowed down a little bit. But since I am in Canada, you know, I have the whole open world for me, all the wood that can pick up in Canada and use it for instrument making. I left New York 1972. I didn't come in Canada right away. For 2 years, I went down to Israel. I went after a certain beautiful girl who is today my wife and the best viola player of Canada.
When we came to Canada, Otto, after a while, following certain order from the Japanese people, he decided to try making this kind of instrument, which is a cutaway. This left shoulder of the instrument is cut. And I must say that for 4 months, I didn't even want to look at the instrument. I didn't want to be Otto Erdesz's wife's violist. And I didn't want to be the first playing it. Somehow I was not convinced. And after 4 months, nobody touched this instrument. And after 4 months, I finished period of concerts and I had more time for myself. I decided to give this instrument time and try it. You see, on C string especially, I can go up to, and with the full instrument, certain things I would not be able to do. At this point, I must say that I'm so used to it that I just love it. I love every bit of it. I mean, even shapely, I find it so beautiful and artistic.
I think it's not only the beauty, but somehow acoustically the Canadian wood is highly better than any wood that I ever met in my pretty long life. The beauty in reality is secondary in violin making, but since musicians are looking just like with women, you know, must be beautiful and good. Naturally, good means good sounding in a case of a viola. So the wood itself, meanwhile, was a little bit experimenting, proved itself, and the beauty naturally, you know, caught me completely. The wood is speaking to a knowledgeable violin maker who loves the wood, and something was telling me, the wood was telling me in reality, try me.
It's pretty characteristic of the man that he quite spontaneously offered to teach me full-time without my asking him and without him knowing me except as a face on the street pretty well. And during that time, he changed my ideas about violin making completely. I was used to the traditional approaches found in books and had been using standard European wood bought at great expense, I may say, from wood merchants across the border. And pretty soon I learned that he knew what he was talking about, and he was able to teach me how to make good sound, which was something I was never able to do before that. And he has that quality as a teacher of being able to impart some of his own ability.
John, I really mean it, you know, I never seen, since I am in violin making, such beautiful pieces that I discovered here. You remember that, you know the story? Stradivari was using Carpathian wood, Carpathian spruce.
Yeah.
Never like that. Never like that. Never such beautiful even grains and quality, what can I say? So,
how about that? Otto showed me how beautiful and excellent acoustically Canadian wood is, as well as being plentiful.
well, we have to pull up our pants to get it out, but I think it's worth it.
Otto's outlines are always beautiful, logical, perfectly proportioned. And I think in many ways it's his gift for true proportion, which makes him similar to the old Italian makers and makes him so different from the run-of-the-mill maker of today. Otto created the design of the viola with the cut-down shoulder because the viola is now required to play music of a very different character than that foreseen by its inventors back in Shakespeare's time in Italy. Once the musician has gotten past his original shock at seeing the shoulder missing from the traditional shape, and once he has tried it out and felt how it liberates his playing, especially in the higher positions, well, then most of the time they just don't want to go back to the traditional viola design. The workmanship of Otto's instruments seems to me to be very close in spirit to that of the best old Italian instruments. It shows a kind of confidence and authority and complete mastery of the woodworking tools. And this is what enables him to work so quickly. I can say that I've never met anybody who's as skilled a woodworker as he is.
This gauge is one of my old best friends. It was serving me very faithfully for long years. But unfortunately, I came to my 55 when I would never say my strength was lessening, but I realized, I can do it a much easier way. So I put it down. I didn't say farewell, but I just put it down to take a nice and long rest and let his better friend, another better tool, to take over his place.
There's something really beautiful about the whole process of making this instrument. Aside from being kind of interesting to look at, the way this is shaped, you can fall in love with that. The more you look at pictures of instruments, I can tell from this instrument that Otto has looked at an awful lot of really fine instruments. And I would say Guarnerius del Gesù and a few other famous makers from old times. And it's like most instruments. They have to be new at one time. If you hear this instrument and an old instrument, I think you would probably choose this instrument. It has a more open sound, a more filling sound. When I say this instrument in particular, and Otto's instruments in general, I had a 19th century Italian instrument, which was a nice instrument, a copy of one of Antonio Stradivari's instruments. It had a nice, sweet sound, but it didn't have any guts. Didn't throw the sound out at all, and you had to approach it with a degree of delicacy and reserve. With this instrument, you can pick it up and roar on it. Now, Otto's a little like that. He can be very gentle, but he can also roar. So it almost seems as if we've got a bit of his personality in this instrument. In fact, of course we do. There's no doubt of that. I guess what I like most about Otto's instruments is Otto. Like any work of art, I find that the maker goes into it. He's creating it from a piece of raw wood, and that wood has some kind of vibration in it.